I just have to do something back here. Hey guys, welcome back. We are here for chapter 11. I don't even know where we left off. Yeah, so it's been a couple days and then I was like, I'll post tomorrow, and that didn't happen. It's just been so crazy and it's been stressful. I don't know if stressful is the right word. It's just been kind of like mentally exhausting. So it's like I get to the point in the day where I would normally record and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm done. And then I remember I'm like, oh shoot, I still have to record my video, and I'm like, forget it. I can't do this right now. So that's where I've been. But I'm good. I'm okay. Great. Yes. Chapter 11. Recap. So Beans, no, not Beans, Rocky and, what was this kid's name? Edge. So Rocky and Edge and Hoppy, the dog with 3 legs, they come back, they save them, and then Junior, one of the Mason clan kids, gave them the key to get escaped. So they had just escaped, and then Mary Jo, Otis's wife, Otis is sleeping, Mary Jo comes back and is like, get back here. So that's where we left off. We tear off into the trees, thrashing our way through the foliage, jumping down limbs and tripping over rocks. The Masons are behind us, yelling, whacking their way through the woods. Oh my gosh, do they have machetes? Sure, Mary Jo can't run that fast without her weight. It's gotta be the boys. I don't look back, I just run, and keep running, with my eyes glued to Edge ahead of me. Blindly I follow him. I have no clue how far we go, but it must be at least a mile. Somewhere in the back of my brain I think, man, I'm glad our PE teacher makes us sprint laps. Edge finally stops, and gasping for air, the rest of us do too. Oh, Beans dry heaves. My, dry heave. Lord. Rocky leans over, bracing his hands on his knees. Did we go far enough? He sucks in a lungful of air. I fall down onto the ground, gasping for air. I'm gonna hyperventilate, just like Finn. I have got to calm down, or use his inhaler. Breathe, I tell myself. It's okay, we're okay, we got away. Beans falls down beside me, and while we both continue to get our breathing under control, I tune into our surroundings. To the shade of the trees and the sound of the river somewhere to the right. To a bug or two buzzing about in the slight breeze. To the scent of damp earth. I don't hear anything but nature. Yep, I think we lost him. Edge lowers himself down to sit against a tree with an exhausted Hoppy panting at his feet. I lever up on my elbows, looking around, realizing, where's Scarlet and Finn? Rocky straightens up. I thought they were right behind me. Oh no. Scarlet! I scream, rolling to my knees. Bean sits up too. Finn! Shut up, Rocky whispers. The Masons could hear you. I press my lips together. He's got a point. We have no clue where the Masons are. If we completely lost them, if they turned back, luckily, they didn't look like they were in good shape, so maybe they couldn't keep up. Slowly, Edge gets back to his feet. Okay, you kids stay right here with Hoppy. I'm gonna backtrack and see if the clans caught them. What? I gasp. You can't leave us here. What if the clan didn't catch them and instead the Masons stumble across us? You'll be fine. Edge points to a thick clump of trees and bushes. Hide in there. It'll be a lot quicker without you. No, Rocky says. I'm going with you. Beans pushes to his feet. If he's going, then I am too. Ditto, I nod. Edge sighs. Somebody needs to stay here in case Finn and Scarlet got lost but find their way here. Rocky can go with me. You two stay. Beans and I exchange a look. I don't like this. I want to go. They're my friends. But I guess it does make sense to stay here in case they find us. I can go, Beans says, straightening up like he's trying to be taller. Edge cups him on the shoulder. Thanks, but Rocky's bigger. Beans presses his lips together and glances away, but Edge is right. If anyone can help, like in a strong way, it would be Rocky. The two of them disappear back through the woods and I turn to Beans. Let's hide. He doesn't say anything as he grabs Edge's pack and what meager things we managed to take back from the masons and head around a clump of bushes. "Here, Hoppy," I quietly call as I follow Beans. We get situated behind the bushes, and a lot of weird quiet seconds go by. It's Beans who speaks first. We should have booby-trapped that moonshine barrel to explode. I smile, glad he's not in a bad mood about the Rocky is bigger thing. "Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? They don't need any more reason to come after us." Beans begins looking through the stuff we managed to grab, and my thoughts wander to the silo and the meteor shower, the bear in the river, the skeleton and our kidnappers. This isn't exactly how I thought things would go. Hoppy nudges my elbow with his wet nose, like he's picked up on the tenseness, and I reach over and scratch his scraggly head. "You're a good boy," I tell him, and his tail wags. I love dogs. Maybe I should have asked for one for my birthday instead of a boombox. Beans opens Edge's pack next, and I say, "You shouldn't do that." He ignores me, finds a pad and a pencil, and goes about sketching. Curious, I watch him for a few seconds and then lean in to see. He turns his back to me, hunching his shoulders and not letting me look. Gosh, what is his problem? Ugh. A couple of minutes go by, and idly I listen to the scratch of paper across pencil, to the wind blowing leaves around, to something, probably a squirrel, scurrying past. I wonder if Edge and Rocky have made it back to the clan's camp yet. A mosquito lands on my arm, and I smack it. "Shouldn't they be back by now?" I ask. Beans ignores me. With a sigh, I look around, and my gaze lands on a huge maple tree a few yards away. It reminds me of that one last year we all jumped from. Well, all of us except for Beans. I finished raking our yard and leaned against the tree, studying the big pile of leaves. The scouts wandered up. "What you doing?" "Thinking about jumping." From there, I looked up at the treetop, then down to the leaves. To there. Beans took a step back. "I don't know. The weight to distance ratio seems off." We ignored him and climbed to the top. "Suppose we'll break any bones?" Finn asked as we inched out on a limb. "Nah," Rocky said. We all jumped together. "Ow! I told you so!" Beans yelled. The scratch of a pencil gets a little quicker, bringing me from my memory, and I crane my neck to see over Beans' shoulder. It looks like he's recreating the map. I study the back of his bent head and automatically reach up to remove a little leaf stuck in his curls. He doesn't notice. Or if he does, he ignores me. I chew my thumbnail, but it's already down to the quick. So I try my middle finger. Edge and Rocky should be back by now. I stop nibbling and strain to listen for the sound of footsteps, but I can't hear anything. What if they got captured? What if a bear got them? What if... Then it hits me. The fault. It's all on me. I'm to blame. I'm the one who insisted we go on this crazy adventure. My friends are lost in the woods, being chased by some kind of crazy kid murderers, and if anything happens to them, it will be all my fault. We need to go home, I say. I'm not sure this is going to work. Beans turns to look at me, but he doesn't say anything, and I can't really figure out what he's thinking. "Beans," I say softly. "We were just kidnapped, and now Finn and Scarlet are missing. And what if Rocky can't find them? What if they don't come back? Plus, we need to tell someone about Passenger." "I don't want to quit," he says. "Please, Annie." "Beans, we'll find another way to save your house." "This is it, Annie. This is it. You were right. The meteor, it's a solution. I know it." I look into his worried eyes, and the more I do, the more I imagine life without Beans. No, he can't move away. I'll do whatever I can to help him. Then, will you please tell Rocky and Finn? He looks away, in embarrassment or in guilt, I don't know. But I stare at the side of his face for a couple of long seconds, and I don't get it. Why doesn't he want to tell them what's going on? A twig snaps, and Beans and I fall even quieter. I reach for Hoppy and silently pull him against me. Another twig breaks and our eyes go wide. Something is definitely out there. "Forget your friends," Scarlet gripes. "I want to go home." "You're such a baby," Finn snaps. "Finn!" I scramble out from behind the bushes and throw my arms around his shoulders. "You're okay." He gives me a couple of awkward pats. Yeah. I let go of him and have this weird urge to give him a big sloppy kiss on his cheek. Finn's here and he's alive! He looks around the area. Where's everybody else? Beans comes out from her hiding spot. Rocky and Edge went back to the clan's campsite to see if you were there. What happened to you two? Finn shoots Scarlet an angry glare. She tripped, and I went back to help her, and by the time I got up, you guys were gone. It wasn't my fault. You're the one who... She wheezes mockingly. Couldn't breathe or run, even with those stupid loafers. Finn shrugs. At least I'm not a liar. I hate you, Scarlet shouts. You were the worst cousin ever. Would you guys quiet down? Edge steps through the woods with Rocky right behind him, takes one look at Scarlet and Finn, and rolls his eyes. What happened to you two? Finn and Scarlet start yelling over each other, and I yell even louder, Stop! Scarlet crosses her arms over her chest. I want to go home. We all need to go home. Rocky moves a little closer to her, and I swear he's about to put his arm around her again. She's got a point. The Masons are on the move, too. If we keep going, we're going to run into them again. What happened when you guys went back? I ask. We made it to the campsite, and they were looking at the map, Rocky says. We couldn't hear much of what they were saying, but I'm willing to bet they'll be going after the meteor. Which also means we need to get going if we're going to beat them to it, Bean says. Scarlet throws her hands up. Are you all insane? I'm not going anywhere except home. Can you not do anything other than be a pain? I snap at her. Then Rocky starts in on Beans, Beans starts in on Finn, and Finn starts in on me. And I turn to start back in on Scarlet when I realize one of us has to be the voice of reason, to use my mom's term. I'm used to settling all the scouts' arguments anyway, and so I hold my hands up. But of course, no one gets quiet. I don't know why that gesture, the holding the hands up thing, works in the movies. Listen, I yell over everyone. It's just a little farther, and that's it. Did we really come all this way for nothing? Scarlet gets up in my face. This is all your fault. I resist the urge to shove her away, and I turn to Beans for help. But he's glowering at Rocky, as Finn starts yelling in Beans' ear. What's happening to the scouts? A whistle pierces the air and everyone falls quiet. Dang, I need to learn how to do that. Edge holds his hands up just like I did, but it works for him. Well, maybe it was the whistle. Do you want the Masons to find us? Silently, we all shake our heads. We don't have time to be goofing off like this, he declares. Show of hands, who's got enough guts to go find the meteor? That's the end of chapter 11. So the scouts are kind of having a debacle. They're not quite seeing eye to eye. I mean, and they kind of went through a lot just now, and now they have to make a decision. Okay, do we go home, or are we really going for this? I'd probably go home. I'd be like, peace out. I will cross the river on my own, thank you, and I will see myself out. So we will have to see what they end up doing. Maybe the scouts break up, or they decide to do this together. You'll have to wait and see. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, and I actually will record chapter 12, I promise. Bye guys. Oh shoot, I don't have the microphone.